to center field. This ball's crushed.
We welcome you to Oakland, California, where tonight the Houston Astros play Game 2 of this three-game weekend series. The Astros victorious last night, scoring a couple of runs in the 7th inning to tie it, and then a run in the 8th to go ahead and win 3-2 to kick off this three-game weekend series. With the win, the Astros moved to 8.5 games ahead of the Oakland A's. In the AL West, the Texas Rangers, a win today, have actually moved into second place. The A's start the night sitting at 29 and 28. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us for another Astros After Dark here on the West Coast as the Astros take on the Oakland A's. And Blummer for the Astros. It's been really good things for them, especially within the division as they continue to play well against the AL West.
Yeah, if you're going to go out there and win the division and get into the playoffs, you've got to beat up within your division. That's what we talk about all the time with this unbalanced schedule. You're playing 4 teams 17 times apiece. That's 76 games you have a chance to win your division. 76
this year, 76 last year, 76 the year before as we check out the best records in all of baseball within the division since 2017 in our league leaders presented by Houston Methodist. You'll see that the Astros are not only the best in the division, they're the best of any team in any division. Cleveland Indians coming in second with a domination in the AL Central, but nobody better than the Astros within the division. And one of those guys who is leading the way is tonight's starting pitcher.
Yeah, you see the numbers against the West as an Astro for Justin Verlander, extremely good. But those numbers were great before he became an Astro and might have led to a little bit of the reason why they made such an effort to go out here and bring him in. Before he was an Astro, he was 40 and 27 within the American League West. He knows these guys extremely well within the regular season. He's also got some pretty dominant numbers in the postseason. We'll show you those a little bit later.
Nobody does it better than Verlander against the Oakland A's. We'll follow that theme as we go along tonight. It's the Astros and the A's on a Saturday night from the Oakland Coliseum. When we come back, Julia will tell us about how some of the young guys have really contributed to the Astros lately. Rooms to go. Get in style and quality, all at the lowest prices on every item every day. And by Comcast Business. Learn to take your business beyond fast at ComcastBusiness.com.
Welcome back to Oakland. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday night for some Astros baseball. The Astros with a chance to take this series over the Oakland A's after a great win last night. It was a complete win. If you ask the guys, they told me that in postgame, a complete team win. And the contributions, while coming late, they also came from guys who are, one, happy to be here, but also want to make a really good impression while they're in the big leagues. So Get Out and Play presented by Toyota as we take a look at what exactly happened last night. The Astros were down 2-1, but here they come late in the game, 7th inning. Tony Kemp coming through, having a great at bat, and he's scoring. Miles Straw, who just got called up on Wednesday, showing off the speed, scoring from first, fastest guy on the team right there. He will lead things off today. We also saw the rookie Jack Mayfield make a terrific play at short to keep the game where it was. Nicely done by Jack, who has worked so hard while he's been up here to make sure he's comfortable and ready for his moment. Also, Derek Fisher, he's been here just a week. He drove one deep to center field to give the Astros the lead and eventually the win. A.J. Hinch very proud of his group, so many of them contributing to the one-run game, on the road in what can be a tough ballpark to play in, TK. These guys are really thriving with their opportunity here in the majors.
Yeah, the Astros have really played well here in Oakland. They have been on a roll lately, and that was a big win last night in that come-from-behind victory for the Astros. And here's how they will line things up. Miles Straw, his first start of 2019, his third Major League start, and the first time he's ever led off a game in the Major Leagues, followed by Alex Bregman and Michael Brantley. Yuli Gurriel hits the 4th spot, and then you've got Josh Reddick 5, Robinson Chirino 6, Jack Mayfield at shortstop making his third start of his career. Tony Kemp back at second base, and Jake Marisnick bats 9th and center.
Brett Anderson, left-hander, going for the Oakland A's. See his record on the season, 16 2/3 innings pitched. The interesting thing on his line is a strikeout to walk ratio. 24 walks is a tough thing to pitch around.
He is ready to go tonight like Mike Fiers, not going to strike out a whole lot. As Miles Straw leads things off, Straw was a pinch runner last night and scored the game-tying run when he came around from first on a double by Tony Kemp into left center field. We're underway on a 60-degree night on this Saturday. Astros and A's for the 4th time here in Oakland this year. The Astros 2-1 this year, and overall they have won 9 of the last 12 inside the Oakland Coliseum. Straw getting the start tonight. AJ putting him at the top of the lineup, batting .289 this year at AAA Round Rock. Had 16 stolen bases in 18 attempts and had scored 31 runs when he was called up to the Astros earlier this week. Last year, 3 for 9 in limited time in September when he was part of that roster expansion. Takes a ball, it's 1-2. Straw as fast as they come, as you heard from Julia, the fastest Astro. He and Jake are 1 and 2. Straw showed that speed last night as a pinch runner as he taps another foul at the plate. That's one thing we noticed last year, is even though Straw didn't have a whole lot of at bats, they were pretty competitive at bats. He battles up there.
No, it seems to be the culture they're creating down in the minor leagues, is put up some tough ABs, and Straw did that last year. Also showed us some surprising pop too.
Put one out to center field at Camden Yards. Upstairs, after being down on the count 0-2, it's now a full count. Straw doing exactly what you would want as a leadoff hitter. He's seen 7 pitches so far, making Brett Anderson work. On the ground towards third, Chapman knew he had to hurry and not let that ball bounce a second time with Straw's speed. There's one away. Defensively, nobody better than Chapman at third base. Platinum Glove winner across the diamond is Matt Olson, also a Gold Glove winner. Marcus Simeon's much improved at shortstop. Jurickson Profar has been better as the season's gone along. In the outfield, you have Ramon Laureano in center field. Stephen Piscotty and Robbie Grossman flank him, and then Josh Fegley behind the plate. Laureano with 14 assists, as you saw, since last year. 5 of them this season, tied for third in the AL. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman steps in with a .265 batting average. 17 home runs, tied for the best in the AL. 38 runs batted in. A rare off night for Alex last night against the A's, 0 for 4, but he has done damage against the Athletics throughout his career, batting .346. Anderson has missed on the first 3 to Bregman.
Tried to cut that last fastball, didn't work out very well. Doesn't throw that pitch very often, mainly a fastball, slider, changeup guy.
He just added that cutter this year, didn't throw it last year. And Anderson walks Bregman on 4 pitches. So Alex, a 1-out base runner. That'll bring up Michael Brantley.
Position, designated hitter, number 23, Michael Brantley.
If you're going to get to Brett Anderson, getting to him early seems like a good idea. His ERA the first couple of innings is 5.73. And after that, he settles into a 2.56 ERA the rest of the way. Brantley takes a strike. Brantley DHing tonight. Career .349 hitter when he DHs.
It's good to see him redirecting some of that anger of having to DH.
Not a big fan of it, but continues to excel.
Well, Brantley is just a prototypical professional. Not going to let those things fluster him. He's going to go out there and give the team the best he's got. And when he's in the box, that is the best place for him to be, is swinging that bat.
Anderson misses down. It's 2-1. Anderson has faced the Astros 4 times previous in his career. The only time he has pitched here at home for the A's against Houston was last year, and he got hit around on May the 7th, allowed 10 hits in 3 innings, 9 runs. 7 of those were earned. As Brantley looks at one for a strike, it's 2-2. Up the middle, Brantley has a base hit. Alex Bregman will head to second. 2 on for the Astros in the first inning as Michael Brantley picks up his 71st hit of the year, best in the American League.
Always a very good piece of hitting when Michael Brantley is up there. You can see our MD Anderson strike zone showing you where some of those pitches are, but a unique ability to take that pitch middle in and pull your hands in and shoot that back up the middle. Just taking what's given to him. TK and I have talked about it quite a bit. He's one of the guys in the big leagues that really recognizes where that shift is being played, and he's able to beat it, if you feel like.
Here's Yuli.
But a good look at the hands being pulled in on our Mattress Firm Supermo. But you really got to get inside that ball and create that inside-out spin on the baseball to keep that thing up the middle. That's not one of those swings where you see him open up and get too big on the front side and try and lift that baseball, just taking the line drive up the middle.
So good to have that guy on our side now.
Yeah.
So tired of watching.
We knew he was good on the other side, but
right?
it's even better in this uniform, yeah.
Just, there's not enough O's and smooth for that swing.
You ain't lying.
Never off balance. It's a thing of beauty to watch Brantley attack a baseball. Well, hopefully Yuli can drive in a run here, because when Yuli drives in a run, good things happen. As we found out last night, he has not driven in any runs during losses for the Astros this year, saving all 20 of his RBIs for winning games. Though Yuli didn't drive one in yesterday, he did have a couple of hits, including an infield hit that he legged out his last time up. Astros starting the month of June, leading by 8 games in the AL West. With Texas winning earlier today, they're now 8 games back. There's a line drive caught by Chapman, and then on the transfer, he bobbles it. They're going to say that's a catch, as Bregman had to scurry back to second. 2 away. Yuli hit it hard.
Batting in the 5th position.
Got a little ahead of himself, Matt Chapman did, trying to turn that. Ball hit hard by Yuli.
Now Josh Reddick will bat. Reddick got the Astros on the board last night with a solo home run, part of a 2-run 7th, when they tied the game at 2. Reddick on the ground towards second. Profar has it. Lobs it to first. That'll do it for the Astros. 2 on and a scoreless first. Local Ford dealers, Verlander on the mound tonight has been outstanding in his last 9 starts.
Sure has. The numbers right there. 1.88 ERA, 7 of 9 with 6+ innings with 1 earned run or less. Dominating performances out of the last 9 starts.
A lot of those 1-run games were just a solo home run allowed, as he is out there tonight against the A's.
Numbers on the season: 95 strikeouts. He's 5 away from hitting the 100 mark this season. He is also 5 away, according to Elias Sports Bureau, to tying Cy Young.
2,801 strikeouts coming into tonight, as Verlander starts the evening with a strike to Marcus Semien. Semien, one of the guys in the A's lineup who has decent numbers against Verlander, 6 for 19, but Justin has struck him out 6 times in those 19 ABs. This one popped high in the air into shallow center field. On comes Jake, and he will have an easy play here for out number 1. Here's the lineup for the Oakland A's tonight. It has Simeon at the top. You just saw him. Matt Chapman hit the 2-run home run for them last night. He bats second. Matt Olson hits third. The return of Chris Davis off the injured list today. He's DHing and cleaning up. Stephen Piscotty in right field. Robbie Grossman in left. Ramon Laureano is the center fielder. He has done damage against his former team. Jurickson Profar, the second baseman, and Josh Fegley. A lot of RBIs in that 9 spot for the A's. Chapman with that home run last night, counting for the only 2 runs allowed by Brad Peacock in 6 innings of work. It was his 4th home run in his last 6 games. Verlander did not face the A's in either of the first 2 series these teams have played. Last time he faced Oakland was August 19th of last year here in the Oakland Coliseum, where they really don't like him much.
Yeah, we found that out when they announced it before the game. Pretty healthy amount of boos.
Rightfully so. No other team where Verlander has had 10 or more starts does Justin have a better ERA against in his career than the A's. 2.73 career ERA in 20 starts. And that's not even including what he has done to dominate them and eliminate them in the postseason. It's 2-2. So yes, Oakland fans and Justin Verlander, not a good mix. Justin kind of thrives on that too a little.
If you don't, there's something wrong with your competitive nature. You've got to enjoy that. That means you're doing something right.
On the ground, slowly hit to Kemp. Tony has it for out number 2. Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity. Miles Straw gets a start tonight in left field. Jake Marisnick is always patrolling center lately. That's 15 out of 16 games for Jake in center. Josh Reddick in right. Infield has Alex Bregman back in third. And Super Jack Mayfield, the shortstop, although he's way out and shallow right in the shift here. Tony Kemp and Yuli Gurriel on the right side. And there he is, Robinson Chirinos getting a start. He has started every game that Justin Verlander has pitched in 2019. Here's Matt Olson fouling one back to the screen. Olson 87 at bats on the year. Started the year on the active list, but was injured in that Tokyo series against Seattle and was on the IL from that point until May the 7th. So he has been limited, missing 22 games while he was on the IL. Down in the count 0-2. Couple of extra base hits in his career against Verlander. 3 for 8 with a double and a home run.
First changeup of the night for Justin Verlander after a couple of fastballs elevated. That's where Matt Olson might have some issues catching up the velocity in the top portion of the zone.
Goes the other way. Long run for Straw. He can fly, and he makes a great catch. Miles Straw, his first game in the field in 2019, and he starts it out with that play and left.
That's why he's out there. Justin Verlander, a fly ball pitcher, and you've got plenty of speed out there. Jake Marisnick in center and the flash in left.
In the bottom of the inning.
You see him on the left-hand part of your screen, but that is a long way for him to go and make a phenomenal play to end that first inning. Mattress Firm Supermo shows you as he leans into that, squares it up, and catches it upon impact. But he went, man, he went 80 feet in just over 4.2 seconds. Right at 4.2. Yeah.
That's getting it done. There's a line drive into right field. Coming on. Is that ball trapped? Out is the ruling. Robinson Chirinos robbed of a hit by Stephen Piscotty. A.J. Hinch wants to take another look at this, but for now, it's a great catch by Piscotty to answer the fine catch by Straw to end the first.
My initial feeling up here is that it was a trap.
Mayfield.
Now it's just a matter of, do they have any angles?
Oh, looks like he got it.
Okay.
Wow. That's a nice play by Piscotty on a sinking liner by Robinson Chirinos. Here's Jack Mayfield. Mayfield takes a called strike. Jack's third start opened up his major league career with a double in his first plate appearance. Pops this one high in the air. Begley doesn't see it. Matt Chapman all the way down from third, and it heads into the crowd. Mayfield became the first Astro since Enrique Hernandez in the 2014 season, July 1st, to have an extra base hit in his first plate appearance as a major leaguer. Now he's looking for his second major league hit, 1 for 8 overall. Foul tip caught by Begley. That'll be Anderson's first strikeout. Mayfield goes down, and there's 2 away. Here's Tony Kemp.
Second baseman, number 18, Tony Kemp.
Kemp, a big part of the Astros win last night, doubling home the tying run and then making a great defensive play to save a potential base runner late in that game. Kemp robbed Matt Olson in the 8th inning after tying the game with a double in the 7th. I think one thing the A's learned through the years, and you mentioned teams playing each other 19 times within the division, is that the Astros defense doesn't get talked about very much, but we'll get back to this point where the Astros are on the field. But that's a play by Anderson for the final out. 1-2-3 inning for the lefty from Oakland.
Chris being activated against Justin Verlander. Some would frown on that, but Chris Davis has had some reasonable success against Justin Verlander in the past. You can see when he has gotten to him, it has been fastballs elevated and out over the plate. He likes to get those arms extended. Those highlighted dots mean home runs, but a lot of fastballs in the middle portion of the plate and up.
So here he is against Verlander, and first pitch swinging and fouls, 1 away.
First pitch slider, so you can see Justin Verlander remembers Chris Davis also.
6 for 11, 4 career bombs against Verlander. He has struck out 3 of those 5 times he has been retired. Davis did not go down to a rehab, just took some BP yesterday and ready to go. This one lofted into right field. Josh Reddick is there. And Davis retired for the first out of the 2nd inning. Verlander with a big assist from Miles Straw has retired the first 4 tonight. JV lifetime in the regular season 12-6 with a 2.73 ERA against the A's. Add in 4 postseason victories, and he has dominated this team even more so when it counts the most. This ball drilled to right field off the bat of Piscotty, and this ball is gone. Stephen Piscotty, who had a 25-game streak snapped last night of reaching base, picks on the first pitch and hits one out to right for his 7th home run in the first run of this game.
Seen it several times this season where a hitter will come out and just absolutely ambush Justin Verlander or Garrett Cole on that first pitch fastball, and Piscotty got a hold of it and launched it out to right.
Fourteenth home run of the year allowed by Verlander. He's allowed exactly 1 home run in all but 2 of his starts this season. He allowed 3 where the ball was flying out in Monterey against the Angels. He did not allow any against Texas the start after that at Minute Maid Park, but every other start he's allowed exactly 1, and almost all of them have been solo home runs. As Robbie Grossman takes a pitch for a ball, it's 1-1. Ball popped high in the air, shallow left center field. Long run for Straw. And he will get there to put it away for out number 2.
There's probably going to be quite a bit of communication between Miles Straw and Jake Marisnick. Both guys cover a ton of ground out there.
That's a good point. They're probably crisscrossing more than most outfielders would.
If we had actual like range maps out there of what they could cover, they would definitely be overlapping by quite a bit.
Here's Ramon Laureano. The 14 home runs allowed by Verlander this year. He's allowed 12 solo home runs and 2 two-run home runs. So he's not a guy that is afraid to challenge you, especially with nobody on base, and sometimes it results in a guy, like Blummer said, ambushing as Stephen Piscotty did. 0-2 here, and Laureano takes a pitch down and away.
Not sure if it's the mound here in Oakland Coliseum, but Justin Verlander seems to have some good downward tilt and angle on that pitch out of that release point he's got.
Just a piece for Laureano to stay alive. Yeah, I would think he would feel pretty comfortable on top of this mound with all the success he has had. Popping champagne a couple of times here in Oakland as a member of the Tigers in 2012 and 13. Swing and a miss. Verlander strikes out Laureano, and that will end the second inning. First strikeout for JV. It's 1-0 Oakland.
Houston Astros wearing some gray uniforms. They're getting back to their old ways that we've seen in 2017-18, picking things up on the road here in 2019. In their last 9 road games, they are 8-1. Beating up on some opponents that they should be. Detroit Tigers wearing it as they went through Detroit with the 952 OPS, and the plus 32 run differential means the offense is picking up the pitching.
Jake Marisnick, first pitch swinging, grounds one towards the middle. Simeon, the shortstop, makes the play. Astros swinging at some pitches early in the count tonight against Brett Anderson, and there's one away in the third. It's not even close when you talk about run differential since 2017. Not even close record wise either.
Yeah, it's a little silly. It's one thing to go running away with the best record, but to be demolishing people on the way to getting that record, that's what that 354 means.
It has been a remarkable run away from home for the Astros. 2017-2018, the Astros had a better record away from Minute Maid Park than at home. This year they have played extremely well at home, 22-8. Nobody in the American League better than that mark. And their road record, despite a struggle early when they went 2-5 on the first road trip, is now up to 16-12. Miles Straw bats with a 1-1 count. Straw's second at bat of the season came on last night as a pinch runner and sends one into right field. Stephen Piscotty is there, and there's 2 away. Minute Maid Park is the place to be on Wednesday, June 12th, as every fan in attendance will receive a George Springer Thumbs Up bobblehead presented by HEB. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/promotions. George here in Oakland with the team, getting a little more running in today before the game. Checks out a little scouting report, helping out Jack Mayfield decipher what he's looking at. Goes Springer, Aledmus Diaz, and Jose Altuve before the game. Getting a little work in, so hopefully each day they get a little bit closer, and AJ has no timeline on any of those 3, but hopefully each day they get a little closer to return to the lineup. Bregman with a 2-0 count. Alex did not see a strike his first time up. He walked on 4 pitches.
He didn't see a pitch anywhere close to the zone that last time up.
And Anderson has thrown strikes tonight, except for to Bregman. And Bregman on the 2-0 pitch pops one up into right field. Playable for Piscotty, and that's 8 in a row sent down by Anderson since the Michael Brantley first inning single.
Talked about some of the postseason exploits of Justin Verlander in this ballpark as a Detroit Tiger. As you watch some of the visuals of him blowing the fastball by those 2012 and 13 teams. On the bottom, he pitched in 24 innings and allowed exactly 0 runs, 32 strikeouts and 3 walks, and moving the Tigers on in those postseasons against the Oakland A's.
Absolutely brilliant numbers in those 3 games here at the Coliseum. Can't get any better than that. 11, 11, and 10 strikeouts in those 3 outings. Elimination game 5s twice in a row. The A's ended their season thanks to Justin Verlander in 12 and 13 back-to-back years. Jurickson Profar fouls one away. It's 1-1. So overall, 5 starts in the playoffs against Oakland. Those last 3 were what you highlighted just a moment ago. If you take it back to the last 4, he did allow a run, believe it or not, but it was 1 run.
Minuscule.
He allowed 1 run in 7 innings in the game 1 of the DS in 2012, and then those 3 straight shutout performances. I mean, those numbers are ridiculous. Verlander did not fare as well last year when he was here with the Astros. Faced them twice last year, gave up 3 runs in 7 innings and 5 in a third his next time out, and 4 runs.
I got to ask Josh Reddick about some of those Verlander performances in the postseason, as he wasn't athletic, and he didn't really want to go back in time, but he did anyway because he's Josh Reddick and he's nice like that. Just because they weren't fun times for the A's if you were in that lineup because of how good JV was. Reddick said, well, he did have the JV strike zone going, and I joke about that with him all the time. He said if you think back to those days, he was in his prime. Also, he had so much experience in the postseason, and if you look at that lineup that we had going, there were only 2 of us with postseason at bats. That was my first time in the playoffs, so we were kind of wide-eyed going into it, not a lot of experience. So those are the memories that Josh Reddick has. And watching him now, he said JV's just as good as he was when he was in his, quote, prime in those years too, guys.
Yeah, it was something to watch. Verlander just went out and rolled through the A's those back-to-back seasons, and I can understand why Josh was a little reluctant to go back there, but good for him to remember those days. That was all JV dominating the A's. Here's Josh Phegley after a walk to Jurickson Profar to start the inning. Phegley in the 9th spot. 33 runs batted in on the year. His career high in RBIs is 34. He set that in 2015. Getting a chance to play a little bit more regularly now with the A's. He's never been a #1 catcher. Tapper towards third. Bregman on the move will get Phegley on the play. Profar moves to second. Alex makes the play for out #1.
Nice play by Alex, back into his customary third base since he's been in the big leagues with the Astros and throwing on the run quite well.
Now at the top of the order, Marcus Semien, who flied out to center his first time up. Ball high to left field, pretty well hit. Straw all the way back, searching for the wall. He's got room on the track, makes the play. Profar was bluffing a go. How about that throw by Straw from the warning track to the bag? Miles Straw showing all kinds of defensive skills tonight.
Doesn't have to run it in. He's got the wheels to do it, but he threw that thing in. But what's great, watch him get back. You can see him peeking at the wall. He understands he's not going to get back to the wall, so he gets behind it and sets up a great throw.
Profar came about a third the way from second and realized he would have been absolutely a dead duck if he continued on.
Yeah, that was a good read on Profar's part, and trust me, there's some guys inside that dugout for the Oakland A's who are going to be writing on that scouting report. Might have a decent arm out there in left.
What a diving play by Yuli, and he flips it to Verlander for the final out of the inning. Astros flashing more leather here in the second inning. Yuli diving to his right makes the play for the final out.
Good pitching and good defense keeps runs off the board.
1-0 A's as we head to the fourth inning. Brett Anderson facing Michael Brantley. Brantley, the last base runner for the Astros. Hit a single back in the first inning, and then Anderson's retired 8 in a row. He's only needed 7 pitches in each of the last 2 innings. 7 in the second, 7 in the third to retire the Astros 6 straight. But Brantley here looks at a pitch away. It's 1-1. Both pitchers have been very efficient through 3 innings. Justin Verlander's thrown 31 pitches. Brett Anderson 36.
There's a shift brought to you by Geico.
A's do the same thing we have seen lately with Tony Kemp playing second base, and that is move the shortstop all the way over. So Profar, the second baseman, stays on the dirt, and the shortstop Simeon's out in the outfield.
And I believe that is purely for arm strength.
Counts 3-2 on Brantley. Missed outside, ball 4. Anderson wanted it. Brantley on base for the second time tonight. A leadoff walk in the fourth.
It was a pretty good pitch. Breaking ball down and away on the edge. Didn't get the call. Advantage Astros with another base runner.
I'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. Yuli lined one his first time up, hit it hard, but hit it at the third baseman. This one chopped towards short. Simeon to second for 1. Profar, quick turn, safe at first base. Yuli had to beat out an infield hit yesterday and had to really get down the line to beat out this potential double play ground ball.
Good turn. Profar putting himself right in front of the runner at second base. Took a little bit of heat. But Yuli hustling down, beats that thing out.
So Yuli reaches on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Josh Reddick. Reddick grounded out his first time up. Reddick's had a lot of success against Anderson in his career. Even with that ground out in the first inning, he's now 4 for 6 with a double and a home run. Also has a walk in the mix. He reached the first 5 times he faced Brett Anderson. That one's away. It's 1-1. Reddick snapped an 0 for 15 last night with that home run in the 7th inning. It was his 4th career home run against the A's, where he is hit .288 against his former team. Yuli going, and he is picked off. Olsen, a wide throw, and Yuli's going to be safe. Matt Olsen should have had an out, though. Instead, it's going to be a stolen base for Yuli, despite getting picked off.
Almost turned into the second base running blunder we've seen in this series from Yuli. He got picked off last night at second base, taken off too early, but going on first move right here with Brett Anderson, puts his head down, and with that throw going too far to the inside, he sneaks in there.
Olsen had trouble getting the ball out of his glove initially, and then compounded that with a throw to the third base side of the bag. Now it's 2-1. So the A's, who have played better defense lately, probably should have a second out in this inning. Instead, Yuli now in scoring position. Reddick gets into one to deep right center field, sending Laureano all the way back. This ball's gone. Josh Reddick, for the second straight night, hits a home run. A 2-run shot tonight, and the Astros take the lead 2-1.
You might say he feels comfortable in this ballpark, wouldn't you say? Some good swings from Josh here the last couple of ball games. Staying back on some off speed like he did last night, getting that big home run. And this one right here stayed back on an off speed pitch, kept the front shoulder closed and launched. That ball was driven.
That was well struck to deep right center. Reddick's second career home run against Anderson. He's now 5 for 7 with a couple of home runs and a double. Here's Robinson Chirinos, who hit the ball hard his last time up. Well, we mentioned it last night with the Astros playing great defense late and the A's maybe not playing their best defense. Robbie Grossman on a ball off the bat of Kemp. Here's first Robinson Chirinos drilling one to center. Bounces away momentarily from Laureano, but he's got a good arm, and Robinson is out at second base. Chirinos saw that ball pop away and thought he'd try and take an extra base, but Laureano with his 6th outfield assist of the season.
The positive is that Chirinos has hit the ball hard twice. He lined out to right field the first AB. This one right here, he rips into left center field. Laureano bobbling it around, set Chirinos up, gave him that false sense of hope, and then he threw him out. Another assist for Ramon Laureano. Ooh.
That was pretty close. There's Jack Mayfield.
A lot closer than it initially looked.
I mean, there probably is a better angle that shows him definitively out, but on that first angle, I might have taken a chance. The Astros electing not to review it. Mayfield struck out his first time up, only strikeout of the night for Anderson. He's down to the count here, 1-2. Since his call up, more outfield assists than anybody in all of baseball. And it looked like a pretty good gamble by Robinson Chirinos. Took a perfect throw, and even then he was just barely out. Swing and a miss. Anderson striking out Mayfield for the second time.
But a big swing from an ex-A, putting the Astros ahead. Big 2-run homer for Josh Reddick. Astros lead 2-1.
Bottom half of the 4th inning, Astros with their first lead to hand over to Justin Verlander, thanks to Josh Reddick with a 2-run shot. So Reddick's hearing it from the guys and girls who sit back there in the right field bleachers. He was here for many seasons. It's 0-1 to Matt Olson.
Maybe they'll play him a special song.
A special Reddick song out there. No longer Careless Whisper is played here. That used to be his walk-up.
It's a tough drum song.
Olson pops one into shallow right. In fact, it's so shallow that the first baseman, Yuli Gurriel, is going to make the play for the first out.
Time now to take a look at our Chevy Stroll poll. How far up the all-time strikeouts list do you think Justin Verlander will climb before his career is over? 15th, 10th, 5th, or will he join the elusive 4,000 strikeout club?
Got 28.02 right now. Had 290 strikeouts last year to lead the American League. He would have to put up a huge season again to get to 3,000 this year, but he could come very close. Chris Davis, the batter, flied out to right his first time up. Davis came off the IL, had a left hip injury and oblique contusion. Well, the A's had won 10 games in a row with Davis on the IL. As you look at his current average, which of course is 247, there's no other number he could be.
Yeah, go ahead and figure that one out.
And he's no longer 247 as he flies out to Reddick in right field. He's 247 right now before that flyout, which is where he's landed 4 consecutive years. Verlander all of a sudden has retired 7 of the last 8. Facing Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty hit a home run on the first pitch. He saw last time and takes the ball. Inside is 2-0. Verlander going without the sleeves on this cool but comfortable night. Baseball tomorrow to wrap up the weekend series, and JV, who has not fallen behind many hitters, is 3-0 on Piscotty. There's a strike. First 11 outs of the night. Verlander has just 1 strikeout. Last outing, he struck out 6 Boston Red Sox in 7 innings. That matched his second season low. He had 4 in a 4-inning stint in Texas earlier this year. This ball hit hard again, but Reddick is there. Piscotty lines out to right to end the inning. JV's retired 6 in a row. We're through 4. Astros up 2-0.
For Father's Day, presented by Houston Methodist. 10,000 fans Saturday receive a river hat, and 10,000 fans Sunday receive a Hawaiian shirt. Plus, a special Father's Day replica jersey add-on package is available all weekend, so get yours today. For tickets or to purchase the add-on package, visit astros.com/Father's Day.
When we go to the 5th, Tony Kemp will lead things off, facing Brett Anderson and taking a called strike. A home run for the Astros, accounting for both of their runs. Josh Reddick, a 2-run shot. A home run by the A's. Stephen Piscotty accounting for their lone run. As Kemp swings through that pitch from Anderson. It's 0-2. Brett Anderson, 31-year-old, born in Midland, Texas. His father, Frank, was a pitching coach at University of Houston for 5 years. So head coach at Oklahoma State. Now he's at University of Tennessee. As Kemp grounds one to first on a couple of hops, and Matt Olson makes the play for out number 1 in the 5th. Both pitchers have been really effective getting ahead of counts, working quickly, and Brett Anderson has only allowed to this point 3 hits, a couple of singles in that home run.
Man, it feels like just a couple of balls hit over 100 miles an hour means that they're staying away from the barrel and getting some guys out in front. Seen some rollovers against Brett Anderson, doing a good job of mixing speeds.
Anderson is now pitching in his 11th season as he faces Jake Marisnick here with 1 out and nobody on. He was a rookie back in 2009 with the A's and made 30 starts that year, and has only had 1 other year where he's made 20 starts or more other than that rookie season. As Jake sends one high to center field, pretty well hit. Laureano all the way back. He's at the wall. It's off the wall. Jake on the move. He's at second, and he will hold up there with a 1-out double. Laureano couldn't quite find that, and it went off the wall, nearly a home run to center field.
Yeah, it looked as if he was drifting a little bit instead of getting back to a spot, but this ball was elevated. A pretty good pitch to hit for Jake right down the middle. Elevated it, and it didn't feel like it was going to come down for quite a while. I'm surprised it didn't get out of here. But Laureano couldn't find a spot to jump at, got lost a little bit, and it leads to a two-base hit for Jake Marisnick.
As good as Laureano has been in his young career throwing out runners, his outs above average number is not good.
Yeah. It's surprising too, because when we do see him, usually it is a highlight reel type play. But that play right there might be a little bit of a reminder that rough around the edges out there in center.
If Jake was in center against himself,
oh man,
it's an easy play.
He makes everything look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You think he's turning first base going, man, I would have caught that.
Please don't be like me. Please don't be like me. Here's Miles Straw with a 1-0 count. Straw has grounded out and flied out to right. Swing and a miss. Jake got a big secondary lead and had to hurry back to the bag.
Yeah, you'll see guys get to that secondary lead, and when they see the swing, they react to the swing a little bit and start to lean towards that next base. That's what Fegley was picking up on, maybe trying to back pick behind Jake, but still he's pretty quick and able to get back.
Up and away, 2-1. Straw with Jake on second base. Gotta love that speed at the bottom into the top of the lineup. Jake now 3 for 4 in his career with a couple of doubles and a home run against Anderson. Almost hit his second home run against Brett. So the guys that have had success against Anderson in the past, Marisnick and Reddick, doing it again tonight. 3-1. Straw last year almost 50-50 split between AAA and AA. One more game played at AAA. 66 games for Fresno last year. 65 games at Corpus Christi. Combined to lead all the minor leaguers with 70 stolen bases and 79 attempts for his September promotion to the Astros last season. This ball hit hard to center field. Laureano is there, has to jump up for it. Straw hit it hard on the line to center, but he is out number 2.
Defensive rankings are driven by GMC. Top and bottom, 4 in outs above average. On the top, the Tampa Bay Rays, Twins, Mets, and Astros on top. The Athletics on that bottom portion of the last 4 in Major League Baseball, and you can see the Astros at +5. Tampa Bay doing a good job. They have a great center fielder in Kevin Kiermaier, but you would expect the A's to be a little bit higher. Their infield defense is good, but I think the outfield lacking a little bit, increasing or decreasing those numbers depending on how you look at it.
Here's Alex Bregman. That one gets away, and Jake's going to get to third on the pitch in the dirt. A wild pitch will extend Marisnick 90 feet. And a 1-0 count to Alex Bregman. Gotta love that secondary lead by Jake. He is so far out there, and there's just not much that a pitch has to leave the home plate area for him to advance.
Yeah, his idea of advancing on balls in the dirt are a little bit different than yours and mine because he has that such electric speed.
Bregman walked his first time up. Flied out to right his second time.
StatCast AI, powered by AWS, shows you the outs above average out there in deep center field. You can see that red zone is the tough part for Laureano going back. You can see a little bit of Piscotty and Grossman out there in left field. Some issues going back, but both those guys going to cover that left center field gap do a pretty good job.
Bregman loops one into shallow right. In fact, it's going to be dropped. Olsen was looking for help. Alex is going to get an RBI single. Olsen looked back like Piscotty or Profar would be there. Nobody was home. So give Alex Bregman an RBI single. It's 3-1.
It's a beauty.
I don't know if Olsen thought he heard something, but he stopped running after that pop-up.
Man, you're right. I don't know if he did hear anything. Fans are quite a ways away, but both guys pulling off. Olsen pulling up and Profar pulling off.
Brett Anderson could not believe it.
Barely notice.
Well, give Bregman RBI number 39. That'll go down as a rocket RBI in the scorebook.
You know it.
And Brandon taps a foul behind the plate. Alex has been frustrated a little bit lately. Feels like he hasn't been squaring up baseballs, but that works.
Well, and we're talking about the defense of the Oakland Athletics right there leading to a run. Good teams take advantage of that, and that's what the Astros do.
And Olsen really should have had an out with Yuli Gurriel picked off earlier in this game, and that led to a run.
Excellent point.
Because Yuli scored on the home run by Reddick. This is a ball the other way, and the inning will continue as Michael Brantley has his 27th multi-hit game of the season. Yes, that is the best in baseball, in case you haven't heard us talk about it before.
Multi-hits, opposite field hits. Yes, he's the best at everything he goes out there and does.
We should just have a graphic. He's the best.
Yeah.
Best opposite, best multi.
Professional hitter.
And now, probably a good visit here because you can tell Brett Anderson was frustrated after that pop-up drop.
Yeah, it's a good time to go out there. You can sense the frustration. We showed the replay where he broke down after he couldn't believe that Olsen didn't continue after that ball that led to a run. But now as a pitching coach, you got to go out there and play psychologist, calm him down and get him back into rhythm. Because up until this inning, and really that one pitch to Josh Reddick, he has looked in command. A lot of good breaking balls, but some pitches are finally starting to find some holes out there, and he's showing some of that frustration.
Look, Matt Olson's a Gold Glover from last year. He came off a streak before Wednesday's game where he had 75 straight errorless games at first base. And none of these two plays have been errors, but they're plays that you would like to see made. As Yuli fouls one back. Yuli being picked off. Olsen bobbled it and then threw wide to the bag, allowed Yuli to be safe. They gave Yuli a stolen base, and then he scored on the home run, so that's not an error. And then that pop-up that thought somebody was coming to make the catch instead of him, and he kind of pulled up. Gave the Astros another run. I'll go back to last night. Robbie Grossman on the Tony Kemp double in the left center field.
It was going to be a tough play, but a makeable play, I felt, from where we were sitting. I think we both feel the same way. But when we saw the route being taken, we all of a sudden realized it was going to get up over his head, and it did.
And Yuli on the other end tonight saved the run with a diving stop of his own.
Yep.
Or else Verlander would have given up an extra run. So the Astros playing much better defense so far this weekend in Oakland than the A's. And it paid off with a win last night. You think about the Mayfield play and the Tony Kemp play in those games defensively. Mayfield kept the game tied at 2 with the infield drawn in on a smash. I don't think the Astros defense gets talked about enough because their offense and their pitching is so good. Yuli with a count of 3-1.
But not getting those outs that we're talking about is what leads to that negative number, an outs above average, because you figure an average team gets those outs and then you don't get those, and that's how they kind of count against you. Whereas the Astros, we've seen with Jake, Yuli, Jack Mayfield, Miles Straw out there, when they go the extra length and make the fantastic play, that's what creates the out above an average ball club.
3-1 pitch is flied into right field, and that'll end the inning. Brett Anderson screaming into his glove on the way to the dugout. The Astros tack on a run. It's 3-1. By Nissan, here are tonight's beautiful scene here in Oakland, by the way. No summer break. Former MVP, one shy of 200. Who am I? Name that Astro, presented by Nissan. There are tonight's clues. Send your guess to @AT&T Sportsnet SW. On we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning with Robbie Grossman leading off. Fouls away the first pitch from Justin Verlander, who's retired 6 in a row and 8 out of 9. Only a Jerks and Profar walked. Has reached base of the last 9 hitters. 1-1 the count. Thanks for joining us for our second consecutive Astros After Dark show. Last night there wasn't much for the Astros offensively at all for the first 6 innings, thanks to the former Astro Mike Fiers, who really limited them in his outing last night. And then Josh Reddick finally put the Astros on the board with a home run, and Tony Kemp tied in the 7th after Fiers left the game. But his run came around to score. Tonight, 3 for Verlander, who's allowed just the 1 hit, a home run by Stephen Piscotty. Swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 2 for JV. Give him 28.03 in his career, as he continues to creep closer to Cy Young at 2,806.
Slider is looking good tonight from Justin Verlander. We also saw some good breaking balls early on too. 3 pitches working extremely well. That fastball, curveball, slider mix.
45 pitches for Verlander, 31 strikes, more than 2/3 strikes to balls, as Laureano picks on the first pitch and fouls one into the left field corner. It's 0-1. Laureano was Verlander's first strikeout victim. 61 strikeouts on the year for Ramon, which is the most of any of the A's. Last month, the breaking ball was lethal for JV, and Anderson was right there as well. That one's inside on Laureano, 1-1. Tonight's starting pitchers had a very good success in May with their breaking ball. Opposite opponent's average, 100 or below for those 4. This one into right center field. Laureano continues to find ways to get base hits against the Astros. He's now 14 for 35 in his career.
Be sure to get to Minute Maid Park early for the Astros-Orioles game next Saturday, because 15,000 fans receive a Jose Altuve replica Navy jersey presented by Coca-Cola. For more information or to get your tickets for the game, visit astros.com/promotions. Also continues a hitting streak for Laureano.
Yeah, career high. Now he's up to 14 games. He also has reached base now in 21 in a row, which is the longest active streak in the major leagues. His teammate Stephen Piscotty had the longest active streak going until last night when he failed to reach base. He had reached in 25 straight before an 0 for 4 against the Astros, but now Laureano 21 in a row. Profar takes a high strike. It's 0-1.
Good look at first base coach Al Padrique. You wouldn't be able to get your replica Altuve jersey if it wasn't for Al Padrique. Had a lot of faith in a young Jose Altuve.
They always spend time together when Altuve's in town or the A's visit Minute Maid Park.
He was my bench coach here when I played under Brad Mills. Some strong ties to the Astros organization for Al Padrique.
Profar walked his first time up, career 1 for 10 against Verlander. Late swing at that fastball, and he's down in the count 1-2. Astros are 9-3 in Verlander's 12 starts this season. Personally, he is 8-2 and has had a decision in every game since the 3rd start of the year, when he had a no decision against the Yankees. Down and in, 2-2. Verlander's thrown about 50% of his pitches tonight is a 4-seam fastball. A little more than a third of his pitches have been sliders, and that slider has been good. It's accounted for 3 swinging strikes, 3 foul balls, and a couple of called strikes. JV will get most of the strikeouts on the fastball, though there he goes to the slider again and gets Profar. That's 3 strikeouts for Verlander, 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, I tell you what, the angle he's creating on this mound right now here at Oakland Coliseum is very tough. But there is an amazing amount of tilt and depth to that slider right now, going down and into left-handed hitters. There you can see getting on the side of it and just pulling down and across, creating that spin, that tight spin that creates that sharp break.
This ball up the middle off the bat of Fegley into center field. Stopping at second is Laureano. They have both, Jake Marisnick and Laureano, thought about challenging each other and then decided to hold up. So Fegley a 2-out base hit, first and second. I'll bring up Marcus Semien. Semien is flied out to center and flied out to left. 139 consecutive starts for Semien. In a day and age where not many players play the full schedule, Semien rarely takes a day off. And to his credit, he has become one of the steadier infielders in the game after really struggling defensively for a couple of seasons. Ground ball foul. Verlander ahead of him 0-2.
Part of the fun of watching Justin Verlander work is when there is traffic or an opportunity where he really needs to go get it out. You can see him ramp it up and get a little bit better, even more refined. But that first pitch is really the one that indicated to me that he thinks this is a big at bat. 97 miles an hour on the outside corner, and then a 90-mile-an-hour slider. Kind of gives you a good indication that he's trying to get Semien right here. 98. There's plenty in that tank. JV is one of those veteran pitchers that knows when to reach back and get it when he needs it.
Good pitch count through the first 4 innings.
And I believe that's because of the low strikeout total right now for him. Usually those guys go out there and pump a lot of pitches and get a lot of strikeouts. That pitch count can elevate quickly, but a little credit to the Oakland A's hitters for putting some of these baseballs in play.
Another slider at 90, so after being ahead 0-2, he's now 2-2 on Semien. Last 2 pitches, pretty high velocity. This one into right field, long run for Reddick, still coming, the sliding attempt, and it is a foul ball.
Great effort.
Foul ball down the right field line. Reddick just couldn't quite get there.
You gotta love the way these guys play. They play hard every day, but there's a little extra when you got Justin Verlander on the mound, and we're seeing in the right field corner Josh Reddick doing everything he possibly could to get to that and pick his ace up. Almost came up with it too. It's also an understanding that there's plenty of room out there to go ahead and lay out, give it your best shot. A little bit of mixed emotions from Justin Verlander.
They're going to come look at this.
Huh.
The A's are challenging that was a fair ball. First base umpire Alan Porter on the call. Jim Reynolds comes in, the crew chief. This is a big review right now.
Well, and it might be one of those where Bob Melvin says, hey, why not take a look at it? Maybe they'll see something that we hadn't. man. They just showed the replay on the board here, and it is close. But I just don't know if there's enough to overturn it, because some of the angles here at Oakland Coliseum don't lend itself to getting an ideal view on some of these plays.
Wow.
Yeah, right from that angle.
Very close.
It's close, but I don't know if there's enough to overturn it, because the call on the field is foul.
Yeah. It is as close as it can be to either a fair or a foul ball. So with that in mind, maybe the call on the field will stand. It's going to be hard to confirm this one. A's fans see it obviously through a different lens than Astros fans, but here's another look.
I'm still saying it's foul.
And they're going to blow that up as big as possible back in New York, but just don't see how this gets overturned. Foul ball. That was close.
It was extreme. It was a lot more close than I initially thought. So I do give the A's credit for giving it a shot to try and overturn that. But Bob Melvin's coming out and saying that, how can you call that?
It's not a. I'm not sure what he's arguing. The call was made in New York.
Tell you what, I give Stu Sherwater a lot of credit, because whatever he said diffused the situation, and Bob Melvin went back in. I understand being upset. Maybe catching the line right there, but they had the same reviewable angle back in New York.
2-2 count and a foul ball. Two hits and a near extra base hit that would have scored 2 runs. Verlander, after a little bit of a delay, trying to finish off this inning. Up the middle, played there by Mayfield, who'll flip to Kemp ahead of the sliding Josh Begley, and that'll do it for the A's. 2 hits, 2 left on. Astros lead 3-1.
Energy. Josh Reddick's off for us here, went deep in his last at bat. That's a 6th home run of the season. Half of those have been hit at this ballpark this year in his former home. Remember, most recently last night, he snapped an 0 for 15 with a solo home run in the 7th. Sent it over to right field. His old fan base over there, they actually booed him though this time as he made his way around the bases. Safe to say he enjoys coming back to the Bay Area. Okay.
Yeah, he has good feelings here in the Bay Area for sure, inside the Oakland Coliseum. Back-to-back nights with a home run. We're going to have a new shortstop in this game for the A's, as Marcus Semien was ejected in between innings, as Reddick will lead things off for the Astros here in the 6th inning.
There's Chad Pinder out there at shortstop picking up for Marcus Semien, ejected. He immediately went over to Alan Porter out there at first base, who was on the call on that ball down the right field line, expressing his displeasure with that call. I think it would have been very interesting if that call had been reversed. Then you've got to, how do you assume where the runners go?
Well, then you have to look at the.
You got to go back and look at the overhead and see where everybody was at.
Mm-hmm. Oof. And with Reddick not coming up with it, I think 2 runs would have scored. The question is, where do you put Semien at that point? Well, you mentioned Semien's the guy that doesn't miss many games. He had played in 139 in a row and had only missed 9 innings during those 139 straight starts. Well, he's going to miss the last 4 innings of this one at least, as he has been ejected by Alan Porter, I believe. We'll get another look at what happened in between innings, as Reddick is down to the count here, 0-2. Reddick grounds one on a couple of hops to Olsen, who will beat him to the bag for the first out.
Remember, Semien grounding out, sprinted through first base, and then let Alan Porter have it. He got ejected. Bob Melvin witnessed the whole situation, so he went out there just a little bit too late to protect his shortstop.
I think Melvin's argument is that, well, now we're getting, well, all kinds of stuff's happening. We're going to get a visit to the mound. Trainer is going out to talk with Brett Anderson. Nobody has been warming in the A's bullpen. Anderson has dealt with injuries his entire career.
Yes, he has.
We mentioned he's only had 2 seasons where he's made 30 starts or more, his rookie year and then 2015. This is his 12th start of this season. And with the long list of injuries with Anderson in his career, you wonder if Melvin's going to be protective tonight, and he will be. That's it. So he gets Reddick on an 0-2 pitch to ground out to start the 6th inning. And now Anderson frustrated as he leaves the mound. We'll have a new pitcher who will have as much time as he wants to warm up in this game, with the Astros leading 3-1. We'll be back to Oakland after this.
The All-Star ballot is new this year. After the first round of voting, the top 3 vote getters at each position will advance to a special election to determine the All-Star starters. Vote daily at Astros.com/vote and on Google by searching for your favorite Astros or MLB vote. TK?
Yeah, cool this year in that they are having 2 different sets of voting. They'll have the primaries, if you will, get it down to the top 3 guys, and then you vote for your starter amongst those top 3. And in theory, it'll allow fans to have a better idea closer to the All-Star game what players are doing and who deserves to be starters. See if we saw anything with Brett Anderson in that last ground out by Josh Reddick.
Yeah, he just didn't break off the mound accordingly, and you had mentioned he had some previous leg injuries. Might be hampering him in getting over to first base, and Bob Melvin just did not want to see him try and push it any further, maybe get some treatment and be able to make that next start. He's given him 5 1/3 innings, but they're going to give way to Yusmeiro Petit, who on the season has thrown in 30 2/3 innings in 27 appearances. His whip is very good, well under 1. He's not a guy that's going to light up a radar gun. 89-mile-an-hour fastball, has a changeup, curveball, and a cut fastball. Has some starting experience in his past. Apparently a pocket full of dirt.
So Anderson, who had to leave his start on April 21st against Toronto after 2 2/3 innings following an ankle injury, is still in the dugout, but looking a little frustrated as he leaves this game after 5 1/3 innings. And had his defense played a little better behind him, might have only allowed 1 run. Instead, he allowed 3 runs and 6 hits. Here's Robinson Chirinos, who's hit the ball hard twice tonight. And he fouls one right at the plate. It's 0-1. Last year, the Oakland relievers, Yusmeiro Petit amongst them, much better in 2018 than they have been collectively in 2019. There's not one reliever with an xFIP, expected fielding independent pitching number, of less than 4. Chirinos, high fly ball, deep left field. Grossman is at the track, and he'll have a play and puts it away on the long out by Chirinos for out number 2. Chirinos has been putting the barrel on the ball tonight, but doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. He was out on the 1 hit he had as he tried to stretch a single into a double. Here's Jack.
But he's trending in the right direction, barreling baseballs up. That's a good sign.
Trending, I like it because the Astros have had not a lot of hard contact lately. Chirinos, even though he's only 1 for 3 and was thrown out, has got the barrel to the baseball a little bit. Jack Mayfield, a couple of strikeouts tonight. Brett Anderson only struck out 2 while he was in there in 5 1/3, getting Jack Mayfield twice. One and 1 to count. Mayfield now 1 for 10 in his major league career. Started once at second base, and now his second start tonight at shortstop. Out of play, it's 1-2. So in a span of 2 plays, the A's lose their leadoff hitter and shortstop, who has played 139 games in a row at shortstop. And they lose their starting pitcher, the first batter of this inning. Simeon ejected, Anderson leaving with an injury.
Yeah, you just feel like the tension is running a little bit high for the Oakland Athletics in this series. Could almost feel like yesterday was one that the Astros stole from them or took from them, which was a big win behind Brad Peacock and a couple of clutch hits and good defensive plays, but might be bubbling up a little bit because they've been on such a good run trying to fight back into this division race.
I agree with you, because if you're the A's, you're thinking, all right, start this series, we're down 7.5 games. We could pick up some ground with no Springer, no Altuve, no Correa.
Yeah, that's another thing they were probably hoping for too. You're right.
And instead they lose a lead late last night, where their bullpen had been so good last year. And now they have to face Verlander and Cole the next 2 nights. Verlander and Cole haven't pitched against Oakland this year until this series. 2-2 the count to Super Jack, who helped win that game last night with his glove. Infield in, runner on third, 1 out. Jack made a great play to keep the game tied at 2. Strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. That's the 3rd strikeout for A's pitching. All season long, download AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or go to AT&TSportsnet.com to stream from your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available to cable accounts with AT&T Sportsnet in their subscription, subject to blackouts and territorial restrictions. On we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Verlander will face 2, 3, and 4. The match, Chapman and Olsen, and Chris Davis, tough part of the lineup. And first pitch swinging is Matt Chapman, and he misses. It's 0-1. Verlander allowing a couple of singles last inning and a near double down the right field line that could have tied the game. Instead, it was ruled foul. Marcus Simeon would later be ejected after he would make an out for the final out of the 5th. 1-1 the count. Chapman 29 extra base hits, tied for 2nd in the American League in that category. Might have had an extra or an RBI base hit his last time up, had it not been for a great play by Yuli Gurriel to end the 3rd inning. Chapman tried to make a bid to give the A's a 2-0 lead. Instead, Gurriel, a diving stop, flipped to Verlander for the final out. Called 3rd strike, 97 on the corner. Verlander has 4 strikeouts tonight.
No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Miles Straw showing some wheels in this series. Pinch running for Tyler White. And with Tony Kemp going to that opposite field gap, Miles Straw cruising nicely into home plate, and then getting the start in left field tonight, showing some of that range and speed, making a great catch to end that 1st inning and pick up Justin Verlander and keep another base runner off the base paths.
Rob Matt Olsen in the 1st inning, and Olsen bats here 0 for 2. That catch made Jake Marisnick jealous.
It's just what the Houston Astros outfielders do, is make fantastic plays when they shouldn't, or when you least expect it.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Jake Marisnick made 2 4-star catches and 2 5-star catches on the last homestand. How rare is that? Well, there still is no other player in baseball that has multiple 4-star and 5-star catches on the season, and Jake did it in 1 homestand. Only Cody Bellinger and Byron Buxton have as many as 2 5-star catches. They have 3. They only have 1 4-star catch per apiece. 2-2 the count to Matt Olsen. Verlander sitting at 2,805 strikeouts. Cy Young next on the list at 2806. Swing and a miss. There it is. Justin Verlander, who has won Cy Young Award and finished runner-up 3 other times, now matches Cy Young in the total strikeout column with 2,806, 21st all time.
Congratulations to Justin Verlander, another milestone and another Hall of Famer he's passing. But also gives him a hundo as far as strikeouts on the season for Justin too.
Only Max Scherzer and the major league leader, teammate Garrett Cole, had triple digits in strikeouts coming into today. Cole leading all of baseball with 112, and he's going to get the ball tomorrow. There's Chris Davis, who has flied out and lined out both times to right field. And this one high to right field, but he got under this as Reddick drifts back in front of the track, puts it away. 1-2-3 inning for Justin Verlander. He's through 6 with a 3-1 lead. T-Mobile's connection game. Kyle Freeland, who finished 4th last year in the National League Cy Young Award voting, has been optioned to AAA. Mike Leake, we're going to see the Mariners in the next series. He has allowed 18 home runs, tied for the most in baseball. Tough month for the Cardinals, and Major League Baseball in general saw more home runs in May than any month in Major League Baseball history.
Yeah, the baseball has been flying around Major League stadiums this season.
Here's Tony Kemp to lead things off. He tries to bunt, but pushes it too close to the mound, and Petit has a relatively easy play. Kemp now 0 for 3 as he tries to bunt to start the 7th inning. I mean, we saw a couple of home runs in that Cubs series in particular. The ball just kept going at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, it was relentless, and it even prompted Joe Madden to make some speculatory comments about the baseball itself, which we've heard from an Astros pitcher also. But there is some concern about that baseball being wound a little bit differently and flying out of the ballpark. And that month of May, over 1,100 home runs is pretty impressive.
My guess is if you took an anonymous vote of every major league pitcher and asked them if they felt these baseballs are wound tighter and fly further, they will.
Majority would say yes. Yes, I agree with you in that. It's kind of it's almost the conversation that's being had underground, because somebody will bring it up and somebody will talk about it. If you hang around the dugout or the clubhouses on both sides long enough, you do start to hear people say, "You notice anything different about the baseball?" And I think the home run totals kind of dictate that.
When one pitch is fouled back. The stat that has my attention, and I don't have the exact numbers, is the fact that AAA baseball is using major league balls for the first time, and their home run numbers are so far off the charts compared to where they used to be.
It's a really good point. Forget to talk about that because we talk about so much Major League Baseball, but if you had if you were able to run a study, that would be where it's at, because there has been a history of AAA not using, or minor leagues just not using a Major League Baseball until AAA this season, and the home run numbers are rather large.
2-2 the count to Jake Marisnick. Jake doubled, nearly hit a home run to straightaway center field his last time up. Scored a run on the Bregman blue pit. This time he goes down swinging. Yusmeiro Petit has come in and retired all 4 batters he has faced. 2 outs in the 7th. Gonna bring up Miles Straw. Straw 0 for 3, has grounded out, flied out to right, and lined out to center. Also made a tremendous play in left field to end the 1st inning, robbing Matt Olson. And Straw sends one high in the air. Shallow right center field. Profar is there, and he puts it away. Petit, a 1-2-3-7 7th inning stretch time here at the Oakland Coliseum, and we're going to send it back to our rooms to go lounge with Butch Alcindor and Mike Stanton. We're heading back to check out Straw via StatCast, and this play in the 1st inning.
I don't understand. You got all these cool graphics for me, TK, but where are the flames coming out from behind Miles Straw as he went flying across the screen to make an unbelievable play? And you got to remember, they've seen these guys in spring training, but now Justin Verlander and the rest of the Astros get to see him in action. in a regular season game, and it is spectacular, and we had the numbers to prove it.
31.7 feet per second. That's the fastest an outfielder has gone on any catch this year, including Jake, who has been above elite speed on a couple of those 5-star catches.
Yeah, it's almost incomprehensible, the 31 feet per second, because they say elite is getting to 30, and he's above that.
So that is a 5-star catch for Miles Straw in the very first inning he plays in the field defensively this year. That's a way to start out your season.
Test him early.
Here's Stephen Piscotty, who has the A's lone run against Justin Verlander with a home run into right field. He is also lined out to right. And he's down in the count here, 0-2. All right. Darren Willman on Twitter going with that 5% probability on the catch by Straw.
31.7. Let's just round it up to 32 feet per second.
That is moving out there. Little tapper off the mound. Verlander makes the play. JV with the first out of the 7th inning. Julia.
We've seen some great defense all over the field for the Astros, including Tony Kemp, who's made some really nice plays playing second base for this Astros club. A lot of guys out of position, but you wouldn't know it with their effort and their awesome plays they've been making. Tony Kemp, I asked him about playing second base, something he did a lot in his career coming up. He said, just like riding a bike, you know, mentally, I just try to tell myself, be like Jose Altuve. And that's been working for him here recently, though. He has been taking his reps, though, guys. During BP today, he was off in foul territory with Joe Espada hitting him ground balls over there. So getting all the work he can, and they all want to be as comfortable as they can be and ready for any big plays they need to make.
Didn't Jack Mayfield credit Joe Espada last night, too?
Espada's been very busy.
Robbie Grossman down in the count, 0-2. He is flying to left, and he is struck out. He was the second strikeout victim of Justin Verlander, who struck out 2 in the 5th and 2 more in the 6th. JV had just 1 strikeout through the first 4 innings. One and 2 the count. So far, 3 hits allowed by Verlander, a couple of singles for the A's in the 5th inning. And that solo home run by Piscotty. Very good pitch count in order. He's about to make his 80th pitch of the night. 55 strikes, 24 out of the zone. On the ground, foul. Robbie Grossman coming into this game, pretty good numbers against Verlander, 4 for 11, but he's 0 for 2 tonight. Called third strike. Verlander moves into 21st on the all-time strikeout list. Move over Cy Young as JV now with 2,807 career strikeouts. Up next, the top 20 all-time.
That's awesome for Justin Verlander. And with him being in that Astro uniform for a couple more years, we're going to see him climb into that top 20 list, if not further.
He will be closing in on Mike Mussina next. Only 6 away from Moose. He passes Cy Young, the number 21 all-time spot in the strikeout list, now facing Ramon Laureano. That was his first called strikeout of the night. And Laureano, 1-1.
It was a curveball that got that strikeout to pass Cy Young. A curveball, not one of the more fantastic one we've seen, but good enough to get Robbie Grossman looking.
Laureano misses 96 up. It's 1-2. Verlander has gone at least 7 innings in his last 4 starts. Got 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 7th here. He went 7 innings as a starter against the Rangers Backed it up with 7 innings against his former team, Detroit, on the road. And 8 against the White Sox at home and 7 against the Red Sox at home. Mariano stays alive. Mariano a single his last time up, extending his hitting streak to 14 games. Still outside, 3-2. Fly ball left field, way up in the air. Straw on the track will put it away. 1-2, 3 inning for Verlander. He's through 7. Nissan, here are tonight Blues. No summer break. Former MVP, 1 shy of 200. That's what we gave you earlier tonight. And our name that Astro is Miguel Tejada. 6-time All-Star, MVP with the A's in 2002. And 199 hits with the Astros in 09.
Poppy, that's impressive.
Oh, chopper off the bat of Alex Bregman. Play made by Chad Pinder, his first chance since coming in the game after Marcus Semien was ejected. 1 out in the 8th inning. Yusmeiro Petit still out there, has retired all 6 batters. It's your buddy Miguel Tejada, huh?
I love Miguel. He was a great teammate. He's another one of those guys that never wanted to take a day off. He always wanted to play every single game. And it was always nice having him out there, too, because he'd go out there and give you 199 hits a year, it felt like. But one of the more entertaining guys. He truly enjoyed being on the field.
Speaking of 199 hits, Michael Brantley, another multi-hit game tonight. Just to show you how tough it is to pick up a 200-hit season, and Altuve did it for 4 consecutive years. Brantley, who was tied with Jorge Polanco coming into tonight with 71 hits each, was on a pace for 198 hits. As good as he's been, he's still not on a pace for 200 hits. Now, after tonight, he might be with 2 hits tonight. But it is not easy to get a 200-hit season, and Altuve made it look fairly easy for those 4 years.
Yeah, he was making it look routine.
Double barrel action going for the A's right now as Yusmeiro Petit, who has thrown the most innings of a reliever for any team on this in this series. He had 30 2/3 innings coming in on the season. Josh James had the most for the Astros at 30. You see Ryan Buchter, the left-hander, and Joaquin Soria, the right-hander. Soria pitched in last night's game. Brantley 2 for 2 with a walk. Fouls this one off. It's 2-2. Brantley came in second in the American League and hitting at .329. He's up to .335 with his 2 for 2 tonight. Ball sliced the other way. Long run. Grossman still going back on the track. He runs it down. Nice play by Grossman for out number 2.
Join us Sunday, June 9th to wish Orbit a happy birthday as the Astros take on the Baltimore Orioles. 10,000 fans receive Orbit socks. Plus, you can show your love for Orbit by purchasing a special birthday T-shirt for only $10. To get your tickets or add on the T-shirt, visit astros.com/orbitsbirthday.
2 outs, bases empty for Yuli. Yuli has lined out, reached on a fielder's choice, stolen a base, and then flied out to right on a 3-1 pitch. Misses that offering from Petit. Petit has come in, retired all 7 batters he has faced. And he's ahead of Yuli Gurriel, 0-2.
He's got the Astros spinning around in that box trying to figure him out.
Coming in, Petit was tied for 4th in the AL in appearances and in innings pitched. He's trying to give Bob Melvin and the A's 2 2/3 innings tonight. No bullpen action going for the Astros, so Justin Verlander will be out there to start the 8th. JV has only thrown 88 pitches so far to get through 7. Popped up on the infield, foul territory. The catcher Fegley fires the mask away and puts it away. Very impressive relief outing by Yusmeiro Petit, retiring all 8.
Results of our Chevy poll. We asked you where Justin Verlander was going to be when he completes his career, and 39% of you think he's going to finish up in 10th place with 3,371 strikeouts. Not a bad place to end up, because he would be either tied or ahead of Greg Maddux. 23 seasons, struck out 3,371. Bert Blyleven striking out 3,701 and 22. And of course, Nolan Ryan atop that list with 5,714.
JB still closing in on the halfway mark of Nolan Ryan's total, which is amazing. Here's Jurickson Profar swinging and missing. Verlander will be well inside the top 20 by the time he gets to the halfway point of Nolan Ryan's illustrious career. Verlander 28.07, 6 shy of Mike Mussina for the 20th spot on the all-time list. No bullpen action going. Justin Verlander working into the 8th inning. This is the 5th straight game Verlander's worked at least 7 innings. And fans here in Oakland are tired of seeing Verlander pitch deep into games. It seems like that's all he has done here against them, especially in the postseason.
Yeah, tonight he has looked very comfortable and very efficient.
One other outing in May, Verlander went 8 innings. That was against the White Sox at home. Struck out 12 in that outing, allowed just the solo home run. Jose Abreu as his only hit allowed. Also went 8 innings against the Twins back in April. Allowed 4 hits and a solo home run in that one as well. Tonight it's been 3 hits and a solo home run for Stephen Piscotty. He has allowed all but 2 of his home runs this year as solo home runs, and the other 2 have been 2-run shots.
Last pitch was a foul tip, but how about coming in hot? One of them got Justin. 1 ball, 2 ball. Chirinos.
That's not nice.
Put him in the box.
2 pitches fouled away.
That'll be a kangaroo court fine.
Yep. Robbie should ask Alan Porter for a little combo deal.
Yeah, seriously, you bet. You chip in. A little GoFundMe.
Or Roberto Ortiz, I'm sorry, Alan Porter over at first base. Roberto Ortiz behind the plate tonight. Profar a walk and a strikeout tonight. Ground ball with the shift. Bregman, the only one on that side, makes the play on the move. Verlander has now retired 8 in a row since a Josh Fegley single in the 5th. 1 out here in the 8th. I think to your point earlier about the frustration level rising for the A's when that ball by Marcus Semien was called foul down the right field line by Alan Porter, I think they feel like we never get any breaks against Verlander, and the one time we almost tied the game against him, it's ruled foul, because they don't have much success when Justin Verlander's on the mound here in Oakland.
So true.
So obviously it was a call that was a very close call. New York looked at it. The call stood, and the A's were very frustrated to the point where it caused an ejection for Marcus Semien after he was out to end that inning. Begley tries to hold up, but he goes around. It's 0-2. First bullpen throws of the night, as Verlander is now at 96 pitches. Will Harris, with 1 out and 2 strikes on Josh Begley, begins to loosen up. Verlander in every start in May went between 100 and 103 pitches. 3 times in a row he threw 101 pitches. If you go back to his last 6 starts, they have all been between 100 and 103. He's been in a very small range over his last half-dozen starts. 1-2 the count here, making pitch number 98. Swing and a miss. Give him another one. Verlander with 7 tonight. And that's 2 away in the A. JV has retired 9 in a row. May the force be with the Astros this Friday, June 7th for Star Wars Night. Fans can dress as their favorite Star Wars characters and purchase add-ons that include a Max Wing Stassi bobblehead or a Star Wars t-shirt. To get your tickets and add-on package, visit astros.com/Star Wars. First at bat for Chad Pinder. He came on defensively after Marcus Semien was ejected. Pinder, who plays all over for the A's, playing shortstop from the 6th inning on tonight, and swings through that delivery. A good slider. It's 1-1. You mentioned earlier you thought the slider was on point.
Yeah, he's got very good release point on that pitch. Just good tilt, good depth. When he starts a fastball on that outside corner, he's throwing that slider in the same spot. That's why you're seeing some funky swings down and away.
This one roped to left field. One hops the wall. Straw will get it back in, but Pinder, first at bat against Verlander, picks up a double with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
One of the few mistakes we've seen in a long time from Justin Verlander in this ball game. Fastball catching too much of the plate.
Now Verlander will face Matt Chapman. Chapman is 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of ground outs, including a great play by Yuli Gurriel, and he's also struck out. Chapman leads the A's in home runs, runs batted in, runs scored. He's been hot lately over his last 11 games, hitting .318 with 5 home runs in that stretch. There's a strike. 97. 1-1. Another at 97. It's 1-2. Swinging strikes, now 21 swinging strikes tonight for Verlander. 14 on the fastball, 7 on the slider. He will now be over 105 pitches for the 3rd time this season. 111 against the Yankees, 107 in Texas against the Rangers. Now about to make pitch number 106. This is what it's all about. Astros best against the A's best. 2-run game. Bottom half of the 8th.
Just fouling off that 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Three and 2. Upstairs, ball 4, second walk allowed by Verlander tonight. And A.J. Hinch will walk out of the dugout. Matt Olson due up, tying runs on base. Verlander at 108 pitches.
Should be an interesting conversation. Will Harris is ready to go, and he's been very good. Will Harris has against left-handed hitters. But JV talking himself into staying in this game, and A.J. Hinch letting it go.
So A.J. comes out, has a word or two, and Justin Verlander is going to face Matt Olson with the tying runs aboard. Olson was retired on that great play by Miles Straw, his first time up, a 5-star catch. He has also popped up and struck out. Now 3 for 11 in his career against Verlander with a double and a home run. Fastball up.
Matt Olson, with that stance that he has, the hands well out over home plate. Watch how early he starts to move those hands back. Because in order to catch up to 98, you've got to be back in that loaded position pretty quick. It's usually when guys, big guys like Matt Olson, have those arms extended, usually it takes him a long time to get it loaded and get it through the zone. He's having a tough time catching up to the 97, 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. Here's a look at it, those hands hanging out over the plate, trying to get them started early enough, but he is still going back as that ball's coming out of the hand. And that's why you see that foul ball closer to the label. But if he speeds him up right here and is able to throw that slider down and in, he might have an opportunity to swing over the top. He's challenging him up top again.
Four of the 5 fastest velocity fastballs in this game have come to the last 2 batters, as Verlander so often in his career, when he is emptying the tank, will save his best for last.
That's what a lot of people are very impressed about Justin Verlander being able to do.
1-2 pitch inside, 2-2.
He's yanked a couple of those sliders heavy to the glove side. But if he can start that pitch looking like a strike on that inner third, that's when it's most effective. You bringing the cheese right here, TK?
Absolutely.
Get your earmuffs. Here comes some noise.
Swing and a miss. Justin Verlander got him with the slider to end the inning. Strands 2, give Verlander 8 strikeouts. 8 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball.
Yeah, anticipating heater, and he snapped off the slider to get that big strikeout. Astros lead again, 3-1.
This is powered by Kubota. Justin Verlander, who seems to have just been picking up momentum since the season started, got off to a great start. But tonight, he was very good once again, as you see at the bottom. Past Cy Young tonight on the all-time strikeout list and counting. It will be fun to watch him as the season goes on, as he climbs his way up the record charts. But he does feel like he has picked up momentum, guys, just the way he started off the season. But he seems to get better and better. Had the great month of May and now into June.
Yeah, that was fun to watch tonight. He faced Matt Chapman and Matt Olson, the last two hitters, knowing the game was on the line, knowing that he had thrown the most pitches he had thrown all season long, and he brought the heat to both of those guys and then finished off Olson with the slider.
Just another outstanding performance against the Oakland A's for Justin Verlander. As well as we've seen him pitch in an Astro uniform, it is still, it's not amazing, but it's a lot of fun to watch and still very impressive when we see him go out and do amazing things like he did tonight. Wasn't a super high strikeout night for him, but still able to pitch deep in this ball game. And you wonder if there was a little emphasis on that, considering how the bullpen's been used over the last week or so.
Had one strikeout through 4 innings, ended up with 7 over the last 4. And AJ Hinch rarely comes out without the hook. And that was AJ saying he earned the right to face Matt Olson.
I feel like it was a little bit of AJ the catcher and AJ the manager that went out there and talked to him, because he understood the situation that you're talking about, TK. He's understood that not too many high leverage innings for him, and he wanted to make sure he wanted to stay in there and go get that hitter to finish it off, because we'll see AJ and managers around the league will protect their starters when that tying run gets on base. Maybe get him out of there so he doesn't give up that big hit and take the loss. But Justin Verlander said, give me the ball, and credit AJ Hinch for giving him the option and trusting in him.
2-2 the count, with Joaquin Soria out for the second straight night, facing Josh Reddick here in the 9th inning. It'll be Reddick, Chirinos, and Jack Mayfield. And Reddick lines one into center field, and on comes Laureano. Can't find it. That's going to be a base hit. Josh Reddick, a 2-hit night. Had a 2-run home run to get things going, and now a single to lead off the 9th.
It's good to see Josh keep swinging the bat good. A multi-hit game for him after homering earlier in this ball game in the 4th inning. Sinking line drive. Almost looked as if Laureano slowed up a little bit, but couldn't make the grab.
Oh, Reddick continues to hit well on the road. 2 for 4 tonight. Came in with a .372 road batting average. And here's Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos takes one inside for a ball. Chirinos singled against Soria in last night's game. Robbie's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. Only has 1 hit to show for it. He's lined out to right. He's also flied out to deep left. Singled into center for his lone hit. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Astros now with 7 hits. Reddick has 2. Brantley has 2. Bregman, Chirinos, and Marisnick with single hits. But if you are watching this game, and we know based on social media, so many people stay up with us for Astros After Dark games. You saw one of the best pitchers in his era go out tonight against the Oakland A's team and face the meat of their order, game on the line late, and save his best bullets for last. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about, and that's what Justin Verlander has turned himself into over the years of pitching. Is being able to be that bulldog on the mound and want the baseball in some key situations, whether it's the middle of May or middle of October.
Chirinos with a count of 1-2, and Robbie hooks one into the A's bullpen. And you can tell his outing's over.
Yeah.
Because not only is he at a high pitch count, but he's conversing with Alex Bregman. Normally he is in his own world when he starts in between innings. Another night where Oakland fans will leave very frustrated at having to face Justin Verlander. This ball driven to center field. Laureano scampers back. He'll look up. Robinson Chirinos to straightaway center. His 7th home run of the year. And the Astros now lead this game 5-1.
It's got to feel good for El Churro. He's been hitting the ball hard all night. Finally gets one that he can drive where nobody can get to it. You can see he's fired up. I like it. You know when you've been struggling and you finally square one up. You want to share that enjoyment with everybody else in that dugout, and they are more than happy to see him drive that baseball.
Unfortunately, Tony Kemp on deck, so hugs for homers will have to wait.
107.1 off the bat.
Ooh,
get it, Robbie.
That is to straight away central. Jack Mayfield takes a called strike. Jack looking for his first hit. 0 for 3, a tough night, 3 strikeouts. Brett Anderson a couple of strikeouts. Yusmeiro Petit had the other one. Chirinos hitting the ball hard in all 4 at bats. And this one makes it a 5-1 game. Roberto Osuna was warming up, and now they have gone to Will Harris with the lead moving from 2 to 4. Will was up last inning and now back up again. On the ground, Pinder at short, backhands it. And that's the first out of the 9th inning.
Robinson has been swinging the bat tonight. Gets a fastball center cut down. And he gets the barrel out there with authority and drives through it. That ball is smoked to center field at 107.1 off the bat. Estimated 427 feet. A little bit lighter in the step when you're driving the ball that hard out of the ballpark. You love how these guys are all involved. They'd love to see each other doing great things. That's what's most impressive about these guys.
I think the loudest and most excited the dugout was all night last night was when Jack Mayfield made that defensive play to keep the game tied, and they were loving him up when he came back to the dugout. But that game stayed tied at 2. This team pulls for each other like almost no other team. This ball sliced towards a corner, and what a catch by Robbie Grossman on a foul ball. Tony Kemp can't believe it. Kemp hit a double over Grossman's head last night, and tonight Grossman takes one away from Tony on a ball against the wall in foul territory.
Robbie Grossman did not give up on this fly ball. Had plenty of carry on it. Great play by Robbie.
Former Astro making a fine play for out number 2, and that'll bring up Jake Marisnick. Jake has doubled, scored a run in 3 at bats. Jake getting another start tonight. That's 15 out of 16 for Jake in center field. He has basically become a regular lately with George Springer going on the IL. Springer had the back issue before he had the hamstring situation that put him on the IL. 1-1 pitch. Jake misses upstairs. It's 1-2. What a first season for Robinson Chirinos in an Astros uniform. Ooh, that's a tough pitch. 1-2 breaks over. Jake goes down looking, but damage done for the Astros. A 2-run home run by Chirinos makes it a 5-1 game heading to the bottom of the 9th.
Performance for you, brought to you by Kubota. Strikeouts for Justin Verlander, allowing him to pass Cy Young. I talked about that slider being very good with the depth, moving down and into left-handed hitters and away from right-handed hitters, but he also had the high octane going, especially late in the game. Set up Matt Olson with that 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball, and then getting on that slider and creating the swing and miss. Passes Cy Young for 21st all time.
Congratulations to Justin Verlander on a historic night and another brilliant outing here in Oakland as he gives way to Will Harris. Harris facing Chris Davis here to start the inning, and there's the good curveball, and Davis down to the count 0-2.
The regulars on Will Harris this season. Opponent batting average at 179. Doing a great job, making his 22nd appearance. You know, Presley and Osuna get a lot of the attention out of the back end of the bullpen, but you cannot discount what Will Harris means to this bullpen as he hops off the mound. Good grief.
Uh-oh. That's not what you want to see.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm tired of seeing Astros have issues and some of the injuries popping up.
To your point about how good Will has been, he's third in the American League amongst relievers in ERA. Let's take another look and see if we see anything.
Ooh, that landing as he comes around. Got a spike caught, turn that right ankle on the follow through.
That did not look pleasant. Well, Strami's out there, AJ's out there.
Well, better make sure that strength is okay before he decides to push off on it.
Lee Meyer, the assistant athletic trainer, is out there. All he needed was one warm-up pitch to convince everybody he's fine. That's something you see on the basketball court sometime, that ankle rollover.
Yeah, hopefully it was just a quick little movement that he's able to rebound from. Pardon the pun. But Will Harris is a big boy. Man, I thank you. It's all about the setup, and I got a good one.
I was going to say, it's almost Astros after dark. We're closing in on it. There's a 2-2 count. That was well played. In the home of one of the teams in the NBA Finals. Right across the way here at Oracle Arena. They'll be playing game 2 in Toronto before they head back here.
Pretty impressive scheduling to be able to stretch out a 7-game series like that.
I think it ends when the Astros report for spring training.
right before the playoffs start this year for the Astros. Oh man.
Well, similar in the NHL. I think the Bruins had like 8 days in between games after they won Eastern Conference Finals. 2-2 the count to Chris Davis, who is flied out to right 3 times tonight and takes a fastball in. It's 3-2. When Davis made it out his first time up, he came up the second time with a batting average of .247. That's where he's finished 4 years in a row. Called third strike. Got him with a cutter on the inside corner. That's strikeout number 9 for Astros pitching tonight in the first out of the 9th.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, AJ Hinch takes us behind the scenes as he manages the game. Plus, Super Jack Mayfield and Garrett Stubbs get the call that fulfills their childhood dreams. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
Here's Stephen Piscotty, who has accounted for the A's only run with a solo home run. If you've heard that before in a Justin Verlander start, so many times he has allowed just 1 run on the season on a solo home run. It happened on opening day against Tampa Bay back on March 28th. And it's happened now 8 times on the season of his 13 starts where the 1 run allowed has just been on a solo home run.
Unreal.
Verlander, 46 home runs allowed as an Astro, 37 solo home runs, and 9 2-run home runs. No slams, no 3-run home runs. That's what you talked about when he faced Olsen with 2 on. He just builds himself up for those moments.
Yeah, he can elevate to the moment.
2-2 the count as Piscotty fouls off the cutter. Well, good news. It seems like Harris is okay. That was a little scare there after the 3rd pitch to Chris Davis.
Still looks a little ginger on the finish to me. And some of the pitches elevated. He hasn't really gotten over that front side a little bit, but should be okay. I mean, this guy is a massive human being. He's a workhorse. I think it might take a little bit more than that, a little bit of a tweak of the ankle to keep him out of there. Nobody warming in that bullpen kind of gives you the indication that he convinced AJ and everybody else that he is okay.
That one up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. Piscotty a 2-hit night. He has 2 of the 5 Oakland hits. He's a 1-out base runner. Make sure you stay tuned for the Astros post-game show after this one, presented by Whataburger. We will have Reaction for Justin Verlander as he reaches a milestone, passing Cy Young on the all-time strikeout list. Some great defensive work. Miles Straw, Yuli Gurriel making fine plays defensively. And we'll have player reaction as well as hear from the skipper as Julia will gather interviews after the game. Butch Alcindor and Mike Stanton will host tonight on the post-game show. Ground ball right side. Tony Kemp will look to second but make the play to first. And that's out number 2. Oh, Grossman retired. Piscotty gets to second. Now Harris will deal with Ramon Laureano. Laureano 1 for 3, a single, his second time up. Astros trying to win the first 2 games of a series for the 7th consecutive series. The last time they did not win the first 2 games of a series, you have to go back to the Kansas City series at home at Minute Maid Park when they lost game 2 to the Royals 12-2. They then won all 4 against Texas, won all 3 in Detroit, won the first 2 in Boston, won the first 2 against the Chicago White Sox before the Sox came back to win the next 2. And the first 2 against Boston again at home, and the first 2 against the Cubs, now trying to take the first 2 in Oakland. 2-0 the count to Laureano. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Just in case things get a little dicey, Roberto Osuna back up and warming for the Astros. Osuna warmed briefly during the top half of the inning and sat down after the 2-run home run by Robinson Chirinos. That one's in foul territory. Yuli giving it a long run and can't quite get there. La Pena, a nice effort. It's 2-2.
But we get to see the flow. Nice. Good hustle. Thought he might have an opportunity, but I don't think it was hit high enough to allow him to get over there and try and make the play. But valiant effort. La Pena.
You can hear the dugout cheering him on as he made that long run. Lots and lots of ground to cover foul here in Oakland. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. This game is over. Will Harris strikes out Ramon Laureano, and the Astros have won the first 2 games of this series against Oakland. They have now increased their lead over the A's in the AL West to 9.5 games as they continue to play outstanding baseball, moving to 39-20 on the year. Justin Verlander, a brilliant 8, and Will Harris finishes it off with a shutout 9th inning. We'll have plenty more coming up, including the post-game show after this.